Hello, everyone. Email continues to be one of the most common entry points for cyber attacks. Phishing campaigns, malicious attachments, and credential harvesting links are constantly evolving, and organizations rely on security platforms to stop these threats before they reach users. That's why administrators working with Proofpoint threat protection solutions need more than basic configuration skills. They must understand how policies, threat detection mechanisms, and user protections work together to defend against modern email threats. The Proofpoint Threat Protection Administrator certification validates that ability. To help you prepare, we'll look at a few practice questions that resemble the type of scenarios the exam focuses on. Let's get started. Question 1. In the context of spam detection, what is the primary function of Proofpoint Dynamic Reputation, PDR? A. To provide training for users on how to identify spam. B. To filter emails based on user-defined rules. C. To assess the sending MTA's reputation based on its IP address. D. To analyze email content for spam keywords. Answer: C. To assess the sending MTA's reputation based on its IP address. Explanation: correct answer: assessing the sending MTA's reputation using the sender's IP address. Proofpoint Dynamic Reputation evaluates the IP reputation of the sending server at the connection level. If the IP shows signs of spam activity, the system can delay or block the email before full message acceptance. Key point: it helps stop spam early in the filtering process by checking the trustworthiness of the sending host. Not used for user training, inbox rules, keyword content scanning. Question 2. If an email is incorrectly filtered as spam, what should an administrator do first when reviewing the filter logs? A. Reclassify the email manually. B. Look for the rule that triggered the action. C. Restart the Proofpoint server. D. Delete the email from the quarantine. Answer: B. Look for the rule that triggered the action. Explanation: correct answer: check the final rule that triggered the message disposition. In Proofpoint email protection, the final rule field shows which rule caused the message to be marked as spam. This is the first step in investigating false positives, as it identifies the source of the filtering decision. Why are other options not first steps? Manually reclassifying doesn't explain why the message was flagged. Restarting the server, unrelated to troubleshooting message handling. Deleting from quarantine removes evidence needed for analysis. Question 3. Which email firewall features should be used together to mitigate directory harvest attacks? A. Outbound throttle. B. SMTP rate control. C. Dictionaries. D. Bounce management. Correct answer: B. SMTP rate control. Explanation: directory harvest attacks, DHA, happen when attackers try to guess valid email addresses by sending lots of messages to different addresses. SMTP rate control limits the number of emails accepted from a single source over a period of time. By doing this, it prevents attackers from rapidly testing many addresses, effectively stopping DHAs. Other options like outbound throttle, dictionaries, and bounce management do not directly block this rapid guessing behavior. Question 4. If one of your corporate email accounts is sending excessive outbound emails, the outbound throttle feature can help. Which of the following is true regarding outbound throttle? A. After a threshold is reached, the messages are quarantined and automatically delivered at a later, less busy time. B. It automatically warns corporate users who are sending too many emails so they can reduce the load. C. The protection server automatically calculates server load and allows excessive emails to be delivered unfiltered. D. After a threshold is reached, a warning email can be sent to the administrator with details of the sender's account. Answer: D. After a threshold is reached, a warning email can be sent to the administrator with details of the sender's account. Explanation: outbound throttle in Proofpoint monitors excessive outbound email from internal accounts. When a configured threshold is reached, it sends a warning email to the administrator with account details. This helps detect abuse, compromised accounts, or bulk mail anomalies. Other options user warnings, bypass filtering, delayed quarantine don't match its intended admin-focused behavior. Question 5. When employees at your company change their name, their email address also changes. To ensure that the user import process associates the new email addresses with the existing users, how should you configure the primary key? A. Set the primary key to the user's full name. B. Keep the old email address as the primary key. C. Use the updated email address as the primary key. D. Change the primary key to match the UID attribute. Answer: D. Change the primary key to match the UID attribute. Explanation: in Proofpoint, the primary key for user import should be a stable attribute like UID, not email or name. This ensures that if a user's email or display name changes, Proofpoint still recognizes them as the same user. Using email or name risks treating updates as new users, breaking identity continuity. Email security platforms like Proofpoint involve many moving parts: threat detection policies, attachment and URL protection, user awareness features, and reporting tools. Working through practice scenarios like these is one of the best ways to become comfortable with how those components interact in real environments. If you'd like to continue testing your knowledge with more questions aligned to the exam objectives, take a look at the link in the description. You'll find additional Proofpoint Threat Protection Administrator practice questions from CertBoosters designed to help you understand what the exam expects. Subscribe to the channel for more certification practice sessions. Good luck with your preparation.